We're back.
We're back. Take two.
We tried already, but the whole world was commenting that Zuckerberg was interrupting our live stream. So this is our take two. I just got what you did there.
Yeah, I went take two, which is really funny because today's episode is take two from yesterday.
Right, exactly. Now Brian Sackwich is here. Shannon Riff is here. So you guys start telling us, is this working now? Today's show is all about how to stop letting fear, worry, guilt, and anger control your life in one simple step. Can't wait for that.
You know what? It's working. I could tell it's working. You know why? Because before there was a whole bunch of people on and our number counter was only reading 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And now we're boosting. So
okay.
I have a feeling we're good.
Good morning to Marcy Williams. Sandy says yes. Working, baby. Kelly Nicole says it's working great here. Kelly Nicole, you need to know something. Carrie and I talked about you yesterday.
True story.
How it was your very first episode of Brian and Carrie in the Morning with us yesterday and how much we loved your energy and the comments you left. So thank you for that. Again, guys, today's episode, how to stop letting fear, worry, guilt, and anger control your life in one simple step. Remember, this is Do It With Us week. So get your pad of paper and your pen ready. We're going to show you a simple tool that we teach our private clients. We have used ourselves. I've watched Carrie use this tactic immensely successful for a long time now. So it's going to be huge.
I can't wait.
Huge
I'm so excited.
Now, wow, look at everybody now.
Everybody's here. It's working. Yes.
Yes. Flava is in the house.
I love it.
Connie.
I love it when Marcy does that. She announces herself like that.
Louise is here. Shannon.
She's making fresh sauce. Jessica's making fresh sauce.
Bring some up, man.
Still only one share. What the fuck?
Good morning, Chris Goldowski. We are going to have a barn burner of a show, and you know that already. So do us a favor. Get this shared into your news streams right now.
You know what?
Good morning, Lisa.
I want to give you a really good reason why you should share this show.
Yeah.
Okay? Because the tool and the strategy that we are teaching you today, that we are going to do with you, that we're going to show you how to construct for yourself, is honestly, what saved our relationship from my standpoint.
No,
hands down.
We were on the verge of breaking up, and this one tool ended it all.
It did.
Okay, we are meant to get rolling now, but I tell you what, I'm gonna just do a bit of an extended pre-show. Okay, thank you, Karen Roberts, for the share. What's so funny?
Are you allowed to do that?
I can do what I want. It's my show.
There you go. It's my show. We do what we want.
I have a question. Another question for Crew Nation. You ready? Here it is. You all have to answer. It's the rule. If you don't answer, you can't play. Here's the question. Have you ever LOL'd while watching Brian and Carrie in the Morning? No joke. Have you ever actually laughed out loud? Even a small chuckle?
Great question. I want to know that. Do you laugh out loud when you watch?
Yes.
Can I be honest about something? So we oftentimes will watch pieces of the show back. And I laugh out loud watching the show back.
I laugh all the time. All the time when I watch our show. Great comment, Kelly Nicole. My poor Great Dane is feeling neglected because I made him go lie down while I watch you guys. That's awesome.
All the time. Are you kidding me? Yep. All the time. Yes.
Yeah. Tiffany is making Crew Day cookies. Brian has. Michelle says all the time. Lisa Arson says all the time. No, but I do laugh. Well, that's good.
Sandy is the epitome of what I refer to as like a quiet laugher.
Yeah.
It's a smile.
Which is a laugh.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that laugh.
I take it. I accept it.
I absolutely take that laugh.
Sorry.
What?
I'm just happy.
I have one more question before we get rolling. Today's show, by the way, how to stop letting fear, anger, guilt, worry control your life in one simple step. This is the last of our Do It With Us week, where we are going to give you an amazing tool. Get your pad of paper and a pen ready. We're going to give you an amazing tool that has, it's like a magic pill that if you are embraced by fear and worry and anxiety and frustration, anger and guilt all the time, do this tool on a regular basis. It'll be gone.
Yeah.
We've watched it happen in our lives and a lot of our clients' lives as well.
Absolutely.
City Harkey is back. Yeah.
Welcome for Isabel Chabot. Can I say, I love that the new people in the house are announcing that they're here. First time viewer, I'm here. Welcome to the show.
And hello, Cecily.
Before you ask your last question,
yes,
I just want to say, stay tuned to the end of the show, always.
Yes.
But what we're going to do at the very end today is I've just decided we're going to pick you up and we're going to take you downstairs to see what Gloria Petrucci's up to.
Because Gloria Petrucci right now is downstairs. She's world famous. I know her.
I love Lori.
I know Lori Petrucci.
She's busy working, but like I just want to hang with her for the next 3 days.
I love the cruise shout-outs. Right now, Lynette Macias is saying, welcome to Isabel. I love that. I love it, I love it, I love it. And so is Shannon Riff. Okay, here's my last question.
Yeah.
For all you Crew Nation veterans, okay? You ready? Do you ever talk to the screen? When you're watching us live, do you ever talk to, oh, Brian. Oh, you silly idiot. Oh, Carrie, I know how you feel. Do you ever do that? I want to know if you ever talk to the screen. Do you ever talk to us through your screen?
Good morning as well, Fiona McHugh. Welcome to the show. I'm happy to have you here.
Right on.
I am so pumped.
Cindy Roberts with 5 kids. Worry is huge. Looking forward to the show. Okay. Nice. Thank you for that comment. Love it.
Lisa said, oh my God, yes. Oh yeah, I love it. We found out yesterday a lot of people cried with us. So This is a great thing. I love hearing people are talking with us, laughing with us.
Yes.
I have a question. Can I ask one?
Well, yeah, okay. Okay. You stole the pre-show away from me, but whatever.
I just want to add to it.
I was going to end it with somewhere good, but whatever.
I want you to end with it. I just want to say, do any of you throughout your day ever imagine you're hearing mine and Brian's voice giving you thoughts and stuff like that? I just want to hear that. Okay, and now I'm done.
Kelly Nicole just sent us a picture of her Great Dane looking very pathetic because the Great Dane's in the corner. So Kelly can focus on Brian and Carrie in the morning. I love dogs, by the way.
Sandy says, fuck yes. And Brian's comment to your thing, no, I don't talk to myself, but I've spit on it laughing.
Yeah!
I love it.
Brian Sakowicz, hawking up loogies in Florida. 100%. I love it. You guys are awesome. Right, here's my challenge for the day. Robin O'Grady's here.
Oh my gosh, Robin.
I have so much heart for Robin O'Grady.
I love you.
Talk about a beautiful soul.
I miss you.
Okay, we're going to get rolling in 2 seconds, and here's my last thing. You ready? If you laugh today out loud, you have to tell us, I just LOL'd.
I love it.
Okay? If you talk to us through the computer, you have to say, I just talked to you. You don't have to tell us what it was if you don't want to. Right? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Those are the challenges we have for Crew Nation today.
What a great challenge.
Absolutely. I'm a challenge master. Are you ready to go?
So
Boom! Welcome to Brian and Carrie in the Morning, where we are live from the absolutely gorgeous Mount Tremblant, Quebec. It's even more gorgeous today because Lori Petrucci is just downstairs.
Can you say hi? She can't hear us.
She can't hear for some reason.
Our house is too big.
Anyways, what else? We're live 5 mornings a week, Monday through Friday. We start at 10 a.m. Eastern, but our pre-show starts at 9:50 a.m. And that's when you should join us because that's when all the fun happens. Today's show, Stop Distracting Me, is all about how to stop letting fear, guilt, anger, and worry control your life in one simple step. It's going to be a beautiful show and an amazing enlightenment awakening for you because fear, it does not have to control you. Yeah. Worry, it does not have to control you. You need to be in charge of your own life, and we're going to show you how to do that exactly like that today. As always, you know we're going to earn it. And who in the world doesn't need to know how to stop letting fear and guilt and worry and anger control their lives? So do us a big favor and please share this into your news streams right now. Your friends and family need to have this information. Yes. Can I finish off now?
Yeah.
And also, if you say crew out loud, you have to say, I just said it out loud.
People are playing along.
Where my crew at?
Crew!
Yes.
So, first of all, Neil McDonald said, lucky you guys, I missed that place. I want to know if you're referring to Mont Tremblant.
Yes.
And Jeff Patton, blame him. He's the one who distracted me because you got to read his comment. He was like, I can't roll back. Brian gets me upset with the sound of his voice on my meditation tracks.
You know what? I think what you're trying to say, Jeff, is I get you excited.
I don't want to go on that.
Hey, I get you a little excited and you don't feel comfortable with that.
And people,
that's the problem.
I just said it out loud. People, you guys are the best crew ever.
All right, you guys are the best. So let's get rolling. Don't forget about that share. Get us shared to your newsfeeds right now. I'm going to start. This is the last installment of Do It With Us week. So get your pad of paper and a pen handy, or be prepared to come back and watch this show again, because Carrie's going to give you one of our most important tools to make sure that fear, guilt, worry, anger don't control your life anymore. Okay, now, what we're going to introduce today, and if you're a veteran of Crew Nation, and if you're not, welcome, it's all good. This is an inclusive tent, man. But if you're a veteran of Crew Nation, you already know the expression bound nature. Okay? Bound nature simply means this. Let's not overthink it. Okay? Anything that doesn't serve us from a thought or an emotional perspective is a bound nature moment.
Right.
Anything that does serve us from a thought or an emotional perspective is a free nature moment. So let's simply qualify anger, fear, worry, guilt, envy, jealousy, overthinking, cynicism. Those are all things that we would qualify as bound nature. Fear does not serve. Anger does not serve. Guilt does not serve. Worry does not serve. Envy does not serve. Jealousy, cynicism, overthinking, none of those serve. Those all fit into the category of bound nature. Now, my last point for everybody, so we can set the table and we can all do this exercise well with complete understanding, okay? Our job is to help you do one of the most important things we could ever help you do, by the way. Learn to interrupt a bound nature pattern rather than having to intervene when it starts to control your life. Believe it or not, we can do that. Right. We can all do that. We don't have to be suffocated, stuck, handcuffed to our bound nature, our worry, our anger, or anything else. We can learn to interrupt the pattern before an intervention is required.
Absolutely.
This is all about taking your power back today, my friends.
It was almost preacher-like.
Woo!
Love it. So let me add a little bit to that before we get into the tool.
Yes.
The first thing. So here's where I want to.
Good
go
morning,
first.
Carl. Says crew, crew, crew.
Love it. So yes, I think that obviously Brian just totally gave you the overview of bound nature. I just wanted to add the addition of the fact that bound nature sometimes is subtle, meaning withdrawal, avoidance. Yes. That's also bound nature, right? So any type of emotion and or action that essentially is not serving us in moving forward in our life is bound nature, right?
Absolutely.
Now,
Yes.
let me explain to you.
I gotta stop you.
Okay.
Adele is here, and Debbie Voss Hamnet is here. There are so many new crew members.
There are so many.
So I'm going to stop interrupting you.
That's okay. You can
I ask other members of Crew Nation to welcome all these wonderful people, please, on our behalf?
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yes, thank you for the share, Cindy Roberts. Let's get this shared out, people.
Okay, so I'm going to go through this slowly because I don't want to talk too fast and end up losing you along the way.
Right.
But let me tell you why we created this tool and where it came from.
Yep.
Because it's going to help you integrate it into your life, okay? So we've talked many times before on the show about my own journey, in particular with people-pleasing and hormonal reactivity, right? I would find myself in a place of absolute desperation, crying, guilty, scratching my, self-harming, a lot of negativity coming outwards towards Brian.
Absolutely.
This was 6 or 7 years ago, and it was destructive. It really was taking all the energy and the life out of our world,
100%,
right?
yes.
And so one of the things that we realized along the way was we've talked about this before, that the end point, the highest point of reactivity is not the problem.
Right.
That when you're going 100 kilometers an hour, you don't want to stop there. You want to stop when you're going 0 kilometers, 10 kilometers an hour.
Because that would be an intervention.
Exactly.
Right? That's the problem.
One of the things that I recognized, and please tell me if you relate to this, okay? That after I had the massive reaction moment,
yep.
I all of a sudden was like, oh my God, how did that happen? How did I get there? What did I miss along the way that led me to that point?
Okay, does that sound familiar? Do you resonate?
Right.
Right? Did you just wake up at 100 miles an hour?
Exactly.
In full reaction mode, or were there indicators along the way?
Right.
Yep.
So, we've talked about this before. What I wanted to start to do was to interrupt myself at the simmer point, right?
Yes, yes.
So, and the only way I could do that was to find, and this is important, right? To find a way to be rational during the irrational moment, okay?
That's a big deal.
Because that level of reactivity, as we both know, can you guys relate where you're so upset about something that you are convinced that the world is coming to an end? That you are convinced that it's never going to be okay?
And you're lucid in your irrationality. Meaning it's full of shit.
Yeah.
But you can't stop feeling it anyways.
Exactly.
Does that not resonate with people, right?
Right.
How could you not experience that?
Yeah.
We all experience
And in those days, I remember Brian used to say to me, he would be like, babe, everything's okay or whatever, but I would fight back, right? Because my ego didn't want to, my bound nature didn't want to believe him.
Right.
So I had to find a way that I could find my own moment of clarity, my own interruption, right?
Speaking of interruption.
Yep.
I'm challenging Cecily on her language. I'm the language police today. That is so challenging to do. But Cecily, because you keep telling yourself it is, it's actually incredibly easy to do. It's practice. I mean, is it easy to hit a 3-pointer in basketball? Well, no, unless you practice it. And once you practice it, it's actually really easy to do it.
Yeah.
Right? So we have to break away from our language barriers. We don't want to keep reaffirming to our unconscious that this is hard. It's not hard.
Yep.
Practice makes it easy.
Exactly.
And that's the only language we want to have.
Absolutely.
Right?
Beautiful. So from that, I created what we refer to as our Bound Nature 911 checklist.
Yes.
Did you get that?
This is the tactic. This is the tool. Bound Nature 911 checklist. That is today's tool.
There you go. And the 911 was very purposely chosen because I knew that I was going into emergency territory if I was checking the boxes that were leading towards that. Okay, so what we're going to help you guys do today is create a Bound Nature 911 checklist for yourself.
Right.
And then we're going to show you how to use it.
100%.
Okay?
Can I intervene?
Of course.
Just a great comment here from Karen Roberts who says, exactly, hard to flip inner feelings right now. Okay, so let me just say this. But we don't want you to flip them. So are you hearing me? Right? Not you, Karen, everybody. We don't want you to flip them. There's two things we do not want you to do when you are reactive. Whether it be anger or guilt or fear or shame or worry or stress. There's two things we don't want you to do. We don't want you to fight. Which is what every alpha male fucking program on the planet tells you to do now. Fight to fight. You gotta fight, you gotta stand up and fight harder, and you gotta own it. Yeah. When you put fight energy out, you get fight energy back. When you put energy and aggressive energy into that bound nature, it gets bigger and it comes back you twice as hard. So that's the first thing we don't want you to do. The second thing we don't want you to do is try flipping it. We don't want you to try to convince yourself that everything's going to be okay. Because when you do that, what you end up creating is an argument.
Yeah.
Okay? Right. Your bound nature is a petulant child. Cecily's language right now was perfect. I huff and puff. Beautiful, because we can all relate to that. The whole huffing and puffing mechanism is something we all... Right? That's the kind of mode we go into. Yep. Don't fight it and don't try to flip it. When I say it's all going to be okay, the bound nature petulant child says, oh no, it's not. And then I say, it's going to be okay. Oh no, it's not. Right? So don't flip it, don't fight it. This tool today is going to help you make it neutral.
Right.
Neutrality wins.
Yeah. Every time.
Every time.
I love that we both said it at the same time.
That was cool.
I know, right?
Did anybody just LOL?
We're so in sync.
Oh, Cecily, you're the best. Just LOL.
Beautiful. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to walk you through how to create this. Then I'm going to give you an example of mine. And then I'm going to show you how to use it. Okay? So the number one thing I want to say, or two things. If you don't have a pen and paper, get one now. And if you find yourself not being able to call upon the things you need right now, don't worry about it. Come back, watch the show, do it again, refine it, and make it finish. Okay?
Absolutely.
So I want you to think about that reactive state that you get into. Yep. I want you to think about that moment, that feeling, that dread, that withdrawal, when you are at the boiling point. Okay? Pull the boiling point into your mind.
Yes.
Okay? Now.
But you guys all got that, right?
Yep.
When you're at hyperreaction, what do you feel?
Right.
What are you doing and what are you saying?
So pull that in, okay? Right. Now the first thing I want you to write down is when you are in that boiling point, I feel blank. And list as many things as you can.
Yes.
So I can tell you right now, I'm looking at my old Bound Nature checklist because I don't use this anymore. I feel confused. I feel on edge. I feel no excitement about my life. I feel pissed. I feel like I can't let something go. Those were all things that I felt when I was in a bound nature reactive state.
Yes.
So some
God,
of these,
I remember those
right?
days.
It's so long ago.
It's been years since you've been. Oh God,
right?
That was a time warp.
So start listing things out that you recognize that you feel.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna start there.
Can I give you mine?
Of course.
So my Bound Nature 911 checklist, I feel like nothing is ever going to work for me. I feel angry. I feel confused. I feel volcanic. Those were my 4. Right. Volcanic and angry might sound like the same thing to you. But volcanic is I'm about to explode. And then that would be, not counter, but that would come right after the breath of nothing's ever going to work out for me. We're never going to be happy or successful or anything else. Right? And I'd be confused. Yep. We should do this. No, we should do this. Oh, fuck, we don't know what to do. Yeah. That was me. Right? So what's yours? I feel what? Yeah. At the point of, reactivity, what do you feel? Right. Write that down.
I want to make the point, if you can, list them going down, one on each line. Okay? Yeah. So if you guys have done that and you're ready to keep going, just say, bring it on, Carrie.
Yes, Carol Wood, great comment. Sometimes I think I used to be so used to feeling reactive that it feels uncomfortable to feel calm when something happens. So many people. But when I see that now, it makes me laugh. We experienced that. Carol, great comment. And everybody, does this relate to you? When we got really good at this stuff and everything changed in our reactivity, we would be like, we should be reacting right now. This is what we used to react to. I feel calm. This is weird. Yep. Right? Seriously. So does that relate? Carol, is that what you're talking about? Because that's exactly how we used to experience it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Okay, so you ready, guys? The next question to give you the next batch of identifiers.
Yes.
What do you think when you were in that state? What is your language that's going on in your head? Okay? So my language was, I don't think Brian likes me very much.
Yep. I remember that.
I think Brian is picking on me. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, you were a great victim.
I think that, I'm just reading my list. Hold on, you guys keep going. Oh, I'm thinking about a perseverating thought that I cannot let go. Yeah. Something that I won't let out of my teeth.
I remember that one too. Okay,
I'd stick my heels in the ground.
I would put every amount of positive proof in her bucket possible, and this is what she'd say. Yeah, but. And I'd be like, oh, for fuck's sakes, there's no yeah buts. This is no more yeah buts.
Yeah. So what do you think? What is your language? So Brian expressed some of his language. I'm never going to. It's never going to.
Well, that's what I would feel.
Right.
That's what I would feel. My language was literally It was so self-loathing. I'm the worst human being on the planet. I don't deserve Carrie. I don't deserve the kids. Why would anyone like me anyways? So I went from anger, volcanic emotion. But what I was thinking was so self-loathing. Yeah. I am disgusting. Why would Carrie ever love me? Why would she continue to love me? Why would the kids ever why would the kids want me as a stepdad? My language was self-loathing beyond belief. Right. Yeah.
So there you go.
By the way, one leads to the other. Absolutely. Just in case you're uncertain, one leads to the other big time.
Absolutely. So that's it. What you think, what you feel.
Yeah.
The next one.
Before you go, Michelle Adams, great comment. It amazes us, or it's amazing how we convince ourselves of stuff. Absolutely. To everybody watching this now live with us or on replay, do not forget what Michelle Adams just said. Okay, that's what the bound nature does. Bound nature's job is self-preservation. It doesn't know real from imagined. It's all about self-preservation. So it does convince us that the sky is falling. That I should be worried because I have 5 kids. But we talk about this all the time. There's no absolute truth. There's perspective. Right. And I think it was Cindy earlier. And Cindy, of course, I'm not at all talking to you in like a unilateral negative way. But think about this, okay? Cindy says, I have 5 kids, so I'm always worried. Think about the way her bound nature has convinced her that because she has 5 kids, she has to worry all the time. Now, if I went around the world and I found 20 moms who had 5 kids and never worried. Yep. Does that, so is that you have 5 kids, you worry, it's automatic, it's of course, or is it a perspective you're carrying? But our bound nature sure as fuck makes it feel real. Right, absolutely. That's a great point, Michelle. Which I want to like use that language to tell you exactly why this tool I created, right? Neil hears me well in that self-loathing stuff. I wanted to be able in the moment to find the intellectual capacity to recognize that it wasn't real. Yeah. Because knowing that it wasn't real was enough to stop me from keep going forward. Okay, so welcome Jackie Anderson, by the way, to the show. Welcome, Jackie. So that's it. We have our first 2. What do we feel? What are we thinking? The next one. What is our body
telling us. So when we are in a reactive state, our body reacts as well.
Yes.
Mine, and Brian's he's gonna totally remember this.
Yep.
I would tremble. Like literally like a leaf.
Like a leaf in my arms.
Yeah.
I would hug her and she'd be trembling like a dog who is afraid of something.
Absolutely. Yes. So I would tremble. I would I would cry.
Oh yeah.
And the biggest one was what we refer to in this house as I would get Carrie face. Now, Carrie face, yes. We all have one. We have a bound nature face. We can read it in our clients.
Yep.
When you go into bound nature, your facial structure changes.
It changes. You look in the mirror, you see it.
Absolutely.
Yep. If you're not being delusional in the moment and your bound nature is convincing you that we're wrong, look in the mirror when you feel this heightened next time. Yeah. Your whole face will present itself as different.
And I remember,
and you'll see it
when Brian. So Brian's the one who coined Carrie face, and I started after I stopped being resistant to everything. I started to be able to actually feel my face morphing.
Yeah.
So we went from having Carrie face to 2% Carrie face.
That's right.
But I could feel it coming. And when I felt it coming, that was an indicator for me. So what does your body tell you?
I can tell you what mine was.
I want to know.
I would get flush, hot. And I'd feel like I'd feel like I was having a hot flash.
Yep.
Right? This rage of heat would warm over me. That's number one. Number two, I would get a lot of very localized pain right here. Okay? Number three, my traps would get very tight. Yeah. Very, very, very sore, as would my hips and my back. Yep. I want you to think about that for a second, okay? Just think about this. Think about mine was temper-based. Mine was anger-related. What I was doing, if you really think about all of that, my body was reacting in a fight mechanism.
Right.
I would ball up. Blood would start rushing, thus the heat, right? So my hips would get sore because there was a lot of adrenaline rushing through the joint. I was preparing for a fight unconsciously.
Absolutely. In
my physicality. Doc Testa is watching right now. Ask Doc Testa what that kind of reactivity does to your body long term.
Of course, right?
And we're wondering why an inordinate number of people in the world are contracting and dying of heart disease and cancer, right? It's more up here, my friends, than you even realize. So yeah, we're talking about achieving the goals you set. We're talking about having a happier, more fulfilled life. We're talking about better relationships. We're talking about losing weight. That's what all of this for. But you know what we're also talking about? Longevity, health, disease prevention. Mindset matters most. Yep. Right? So consider all of that.
So, oh my God, I just forgot exactly.
That's because I talked for too long.
No, I had it and then it was just gone. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So what you're going to recognize is that your boiling point is going to change, right? So when I first started this, Carrie face was like 100%. That's where I had to interrupt it. But as I got better, I started to recognize the nuance of a 2% Carrie face. So you're going to recognize what you're feeling currently. Okay?
Absolutely. I'm going to just speak to a quick comment. Cindy Harkey, this is her first day on our show, right? So Cindy, I closed up from everything and everyone, but I've come to believe that my mind and soul are trying to protect me so I can internally focus and control my outcome, give myself the quiet time to reflect, and not let the situation control my reactions. Cindy, I'm going to tell you this frankly, but without being an asshole. That's a great story, but it's not true. I'm not trying to, be a jerk, but this is your first time here. We cover so many things. That is an immense bound nature reaction. Retreat, withdrawal. And we can build whatever story we want around it, but it's one of the most common forms of bound nature. I used to experience it as well. Yeah. It is probably more common than anger, frustration, or any of the other explosive ones. Yeah. So just something to consider for all of us. What seems like a more peaceful or tranquil reaction can easily be disguised as, oh, I'm just protecting myself, I'm just being quiet. No, you are absolutely reacting in your way. Yep. But it's every bit as dangerous as explosiveness. Yeah. Okay, just something and that's not to Cindy, that's to all of us as a reminder of something we've talked about with before. Withdrawal is a dangerous reaction.
Yeah, absolutely. This is why the show is coined daily mindset coaching, right? This is what we do every day, right?
Absolutely, yes.
So you guys provide us with that feedback, we're able to support you.
Yep.
Okay, so the final thing you're going to look at to create your Bound Nature 911 checklist is what are your behaviors?
Yes.
Right? Now, this is something that I had to swallow the pill of listening to Brian share with me my behaviors.
Yes.
Because I didn't recognize my behaviors. And some of them were the most ridiculous behaviors in the world. Okay? And I'm not talking about the ostensible things like I would withdraw. No. When I was in bound nature, I would leave the room and come back 20 times because I had something new to say. I have nothing to say. I'd leave, I'd come back. I'd leave like 20 times.
She'd come back 1.6 seconds after she left. It was the funniest fucking thing.
Probably not in the moment.
But you know what? Okay, you know what, Brian? You know what? Okay, you know what? Fine, thanks. Walk out. Come. Okay, no sooner did she fucking turn her back than she turned around. You know what? And then, of course, me being the jackass I was back then, I thought you had nothing left to say. I thought you were done fucking talking to me. Which was that, oh, you want me to be done talking to you? Is that what you want? Fine. You know what?
That was behavior number 1. Behavior number 2, if I had anything in the vicinity of me that was something I could drink, I would pick up my drink and I'd sip it and I'd put it down. I'd pick it up and I'd sip, and Brian would be like, could you fucking stop drinking your water? Like, it became...
I don't know what it was about the fucking water.
It was like an it's like...
Are you thinking there?
There's just coffee left. So that was number 2. And the third thing that I would do is I could not sit down. And I fidgeted. I would wring my hands nonstop, okay? So those were my really big bound nature behaviors that the only reason I knew is because Brian pointed them out to me. To the point that as I was going through this, I would be sitting there one day and I could feel, when you become aware of it, I could feel my body wanting to go. But I had to I would even tell Brian, I was like, my body really wants to leave the room right now, but I'm just going to stand here and I'm going to tough it out, right? And we did. Yes. So what are your behaviors? Do you remember any of yours?
Well, first of all, there's a lot of people laughing out loud at the cuppy sippy and the fucking you leaving and coming back, and my asshole reaction back then. Oh, I thought you were done talking to me, Carrie. I thought you had nothing else to say to me. I thought we made the grand exit of I'm Insurance. So Kelly Nicole writes this. Oh my God, are we related? I did that too. Okay, but can I tell you the funny part? I read it fast because there's a lot of comments right now. I thought she wrote, oh my God, are you retarded? And I was going to be like, well, fuck, that's a little harsh. Isn't that a little fucking harsh? Why would you say that? That's so mean, Kelly. But then I was like, oh, are we related? I also do that. I get it now.
Do you remember your big behaviors?
Do I remember my big
remember
behaviors?
One.
Tell me. Well, tell everyone, what was my big behavior?
Brian's big behavior was he was packing a bag and leaving. That was his big behavior.
You know what? Where's my bag? I'm out of here.
He would get his... So he would... It was not funny then.
Well, not for the time.
He would get his bag out. He would put his passports in. He would put everything in. He would be like, I'm leaving. And you keep the car. It's ridiculous. That was the end of the rope behavior.
I can't do this anymore. I'm out of here. By the way, do you know what that was? Anybody want to guess what that was? That was Brian's bound nature begging her to stop me. Right? So my point to Cindy earlier, who had a great comment here. She wrote this. This is a good idea. I'm going to ask my husband when he sees when I'm in that state. Brilliant comment. We helped each other. Sometimes self-awareness is challenging.
Yeah.
When you're in that bound nature state, look at Cindy's comment and Lynette's comment a few minutes ago. Lynette agreed with Cindy. She goes, you know what, Cindy? I used to do the exact same thing. I always told myself I was regrouping. Your bound nature loves when you're delusional. Because it's trying to justify that everything you think, everything you're feeling, every way you're behaving is perfectly rational.
Yep.
Right? So it's hard sometimes to recognize that when we retreat, we're not regrouping. It's not our soul preserving us.
Right.
It's withdrawal. And that is a psychological issue. Not like you're idiots.
It's a mental emotional
issue. Yeah, it's a mental emotional issue. I used to withdraw as well. Same thing when I say, that's it, I'm leaving. I go pack a fucking bag. That is my bound nature desperately begging my wife to stop me.
Yeah.
But I didn't recognize all of that in me until Carrie started explaining it, and vice versa. So can I finish one more thing?
I want to hear your other ones, yeah.
The way I used to react, aside from the I'm leaving?
I don't even remember.
Fuck, are you kidding? I would scream.
It's a scream word. I'm not.
This is never gonna work! We're never gonna stop interrupting me! Okay, but here's my favorite. You ready for this one? Who's ready for this one? Okay? So, we're gonna role play for a second. BG and C2 7 years ago. Okay? Let me get one scream out. Okay? And then tell me that, could you stop yelling? Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Carrie, this is never gonna work for us ever!
Could you stop yelling?
I'm not yelling! Do you remember that? I'm not yelling! That one was my big behavior.
Yeah. Your other behavior, I just want to say, when he wasn't leaving the house, was to go into the office, close the door, and withdraw. And leave me on the other side.
Oh, by the way, the reason I withdrew is because it was Carrie's fault, and because I just needed some time to settle. I was a very avid meditator, you know, very spiritual man, very calm, very stress-free. Carrie always fucking tried to incite me, but I remained calm. So I needed to go and retreat into the office and close the door because that was my safe place. Which is code for I was retreating and completely in bound nature.
So guys, I just want to say this, okay? Like this is really, I had to pull up my bound nature checklist because it's been so long since I've looked at it. This has not been us for a long time because of the tools and the strategies we use. So when we say it works, it works. But as you're listening to us laugh at the absolute ridiculous things of our past.
Yes,
right? I want to say this is like, this might be your present. This is likely for some of you your absolute present. You know, I had a client once who used to go and hide in a closet and cry.
Yes.
So you're not alone.
No.
We've been there. We've experienced this.
Of
Hopefully
course.
what you're able to do is laugh at yourself a little bit right now and then implement this tool and this strategy to get you out of it. Okay?
Absolutely. This is the tool, the Bound Nature 911 checklist. Look at, this is the point. The 4 questions Carrie's asked you to answer. What am I feeling? What am I thinking? What is my body telling me? What is my behavior? You answer those 4 questions with 1 to 10 different things in each category, right? Okay? Then become intimate with it. Understand it. Don't be delusional about it. Don't do what we did and walk away from people just to come right back or say, I'm going to leave. But really, I was just being a bound nature freak on the inside. Like, when you become intimate with the things on this list, you begin to interrupt them when they onset. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I know you're going to expand on that.
I am, yeah.
But that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
By the way, Chris Goldowski is peeing his pants right now.
Can I hear your Buddha voice? Your spiritual Buddha voice? I have something to add, but I want to hear your spiritual Buddha voice.
I'm very calm. This is all Carrie's fault. But I am a very stress-free, enlightened, self-assured, self-aware man. And all this is me going into the office and retreating into my safe place. This is me preserving my spiritual denominators and away from her.
So, okay.
There you go.
I want to add...
You're like, I was not done yet. She's like, okay.
Because I have something to add to that.
Okay, now I'm going to talk.
No, I want to add something. Because, so I think that there's so much accountability. The only way you can change this process, like, you're going to change it for yourself, right? But the only way you can change it inside a relationship is to recognize the role that you play.
Yes.
Right? So I want to use... Because somebody said, it was Lisa. She said, it must have not been funny in the moment. No, it wasn't funny.
These were
My
fucking
world
horrible.
was coming to an end. Like, it wasn't funny.
We almost broke up, like, honest to God, a dozen times.
Absolutely.
Right?
And the hardest thing for me, right, was like, so when Brian would leave the house, and by the way, he was only leaving, he never left the house if his bound nature started it. He only left the house if my bound nature started it.
Oh, yeah, no, of course, because it was always Carrie's fault.
It was only if I started it.
Of course.
But, like, the hardest thing for me was to let him leave. One day, I clued in on the fact that this was his bound nature. So I let him leave.
And guess what happened?
And like 20 minutes later, he would walk back in the house.
He would walk back in the house. He would have his tail tucked beneath his ball sack walking back in the house because his bound nature knew that he got fucking called out on what wasn't real but he was trying to be delusional about it.
And those were the hardest moments of my life, to sit there waiting, as much as it was probably challenging for him to come back, right? So there you go.
Okay, great comments. Elsie, I love, this man's comments are awesome. You mean I have to know myself and accept it? That's it, I'm packing my bags. What a great comment.
Don't take the car, though. Leave it for someone else.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right? Oh, I'm not taking anything I need. Lisa Arsenault, oh my God, you guys in the show is a great SNL skit.
Oh, I love that.
You know what? I'm waiting for a call from the SNL.
We bring the funny, right?
Well,
I don't bring funny.
You bring the funny.
Funny.
You're cute. Very funny. Okay. We're just different.
Oh, you're funny. I'm cute funny.
You're sexy. I'm beardy sexy. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
That's a bad example.
So let's do this. Let me show you and tell you how to use this amazing tool that got us out of that place, okay?
I thought somebody was coming up the stairs.
No, it's my pants on the chair.
Your pants were coming up the stairs just
No,
now?
my pants are rubbing on the chair back here. Okay,
so
now you have this list, right? What I'm going to actually show you. I don't think, it might not be able to come through completely.
No, sorry.
What?
Michelle Adams just gave me the nastiest thing ever.
What?
She wrote, "You are all personality in the best way." That is a very nice way of saying you are not attractive at all, Brian Grasso. But you sure do have a great personality. 100%. That's exactly what that means. 100%. Oh, you want to set me up on a blind date? What's she like? She's got a great personality.
It's not true.
Am I fucking wrong?
No, she's going to feel bad.
She's not.
Okay, so I want you guys to look really quickly. If you can see that. Hold on. I'm going to come in close. You see there's like my list and then there's number across the top, right? Okay, so what you're going to do, you can do this either for a month or for a week. You are literally going to write that checklist down and then you're going to, across the other side of your paper, make columns. And it started at the beginning of the month, started today. So a month, May 4th, May 5th, May 6th, May 7th, May 8th, right? You're going to make a checklist, okay? And then what you are going to do, because remember, this is not a passive process, this is active. Every single morning when I was trying to get out of this state that I was in, no matter how I felt, because I could wake up and I could feel great, right? And if I felt great, I was like, oh, this is going to be a great day, until an hour later I was crying in the corner. Every single day I would wake up with my checklist, and I'd go down and I'd assess, am I feeling this? Am I thinking this? Am I behaving this way? Is this what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. When I was in a bound nature crisis, I would go down the checklist because I didn't believe what Brian was telling me.
No, because I'm an idiot.
But I knew that I created that checklist in a lucid moment, which meant I knew that I could reference it to say, you know what? This is not real, and I need to come out of it.
The key there was amazing. Carrie rationalized. She understood. She created that text list, or that list, while she was in a rational, lucid moment. Our bound nature will do everything it possibly can do to convince us that what we're thinking and feeling is rational in that moment, and it's not. We have to rely on the fact that this list was created in a free nature state. It was created when we were lucid and not engulfed in any sort of strain, fear, worry, anxiety, guilt, or anything else. So even though our bound nature is going to fight us and say, no, this is real, we have to look at that list and say, okay, look at though, I'm checking off 10 of 12 things. Maybe I'm in bound nature right now. And when you're in bound nature, there's absolutely no rationality that's real.
Absolutely.
None.
And for me, I want to come back to what Chris said in 1 second.
Oh, so do I. Great comments.
For me, I want to say that one of the interesting things for me was that I recognized that if I was even checking off one of those things, I wanted to be on what I referred to as high alert that day. You know, because nowadays, do I need to do the checklist? No. But you know, the number one trigger for me that I might be hormonal is that when Brian is no longer funny. Like, because when Brian's humor...
So fucking true.
When Brian's humor offends me, it means I'm a little bit sensitive, and I do not need to make it... So, like, on day 23, I'm like, you know what, you're not so funny anymore to me today. But that's not because it's about him, it's because I'm sensitive,
But it's true.
But that's my catch point.
When my humor starts to hurt her feelings, okay, 7 years ago, it would be my fault. And I'd be a big prick.
And he would be so confused. He's like, I don't understand.
This joke was funny yesterday. This joke was funny this fucking morning, right? But then Carrie realized that when I started making my humor started kind of like hurting her feelings, it wasn't because I was a prick, it's because she was simply engulfed in some bound nature. You know what the best thing about this is? Personal accountability.
Exactly.
Be a driver. Sit in the driver's seat of your life, not the passenger seat. You know what the human condition is? The human condition is rationalizing. It's justifying. It's saying things like, well, you know, it's okay that I'm this angry because of X. It's okay that I'm withdrawing because it's Carrie's fault. It's okay that I'm threatening to leave even though I'm really fucking not because this was the situation. We rationalize and we justify, and what happens is we live an entire lifetime swirling at the mercy of the winds of situations and circumstances and hormones and everything else. That makes you a passenger. It makes you a passenger.
Absolutely.
You need to drive the car of your life. When you do, when you shift from that seat over here to the seat over there, you realize something. You can accomplish anything. You can do anything.
Absolutely.
If you're not at the whim of circumstances, situations, if you're not at the whim of fear, if you're not at the whim of worry, if you're not at the whim of guilt or anger, if you're not at the whim of those things anymore, what would you do? If you weren't afraid, what would you do?
Right.
If you were not leashed by guilt from the past, how free would you feel? If you were not worried about projections in the future, how much happier would you be right now?
Right.
This is deliverance, people. This is doing the things we've always wanted, becoming the things we've always wanted, achieving the things we've always wanted, by simply getting out of the passenger seat and getting into the driver's seat.
Absolutely.
That's
beautiful.
the key.
So we're gonna summarize in 1 second, but I just wanted to say Chris
I was
said,
about to fucking do this.
I know. Chris said, one word of advice is in helping your partner out of BN, do not ever tell them, let's continue this discussion when you're out of BN,
Right,
okay?
yeah.
So the funny thing in that, and this is a great point. How many times have you, so I've done it, and you've done it, where you go to, you know your partner's inbound nature, but you are sitting there thinking to yourself, I don't know what to say right now because I'm going to say the wrong thing.
Yes.
And like, you have to, you essentially end up learning, like it's a progression, right? So there was times where you and me, like we both experienced this, where I knew you were inbound nature, but I just let you vent for 30 minutes and hoped to God that I did not say the wrong thing that would put you deeper into bound nature. And you did the same thing. Right? Until we got to the point where you'd be able to say, like, you know what, you got a little bit of Carrie face going on.
Yeah, well,
right?
I got very good at hugging you.
Yeah.
Carrie needed to feel safe and warm, truly. And that's an easy one. That's not, like, dangerous. When she knows she needs to feel safe in a moment, then I open my arms and I hold my wife. And that's how it all passes now.
Yeah.
Very simple stuff. Comments of the day. Marcy Williams, I apologize if this offends anyone, but bound nature is an evil motherfucker. Marcy, welcome to Brian&Carrie in the Morning, where we swear liberally. Offends anyone.
And I hope you do not mind.
But comment of the absolute day goes to Lee Patterson. I'm talking about going from the passenger seat to the driver's seat, and she says, I'm on the gear stick.
You're so naughty. Does anybody else?
That's so dirty, but I love it.
Okay, so here's your recap, people.
Yes.
Make a Bound Nature 911 checklist. List out all the things that you do when you are in a reactive state. How you feel, what your language is, how you behave, and what your body is feeling like.
Right.
Then put it into a document or a piece of paper where you can go through it every single day and checklist. Are you feeling these things? And if you recognize it, be accountable, be aware, and interrupt before the pot boils over.
Absolutely. Neil McDonough, you cannot trust someone who doesn't swear. I'm with you, homie. Actually, I'm not. I trust everybody. Actually, I don't. I don't trust anybody. But here's my final request. Share this right now. My friends, if all you ever want to look at is the light in life, you will never, ever, 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 ever get liberated from what's holding you back. The shadows are where your leash is tethered. This helps you unshackle yourself. Do it. Look at the things that you feel uncomfortable looking at. Why am I angry? Why am I always withdrawing? What do I do when this happens? Look at it all. Put it into a checklist. Get intimate with it. You've never experienced the light. Ever. You've never experienced the light like you will after you get untethered from that shit in the darkness. Boom! Share this out right now. I want to see Sarah's, people.
Oh! Our camera's gonna die.
Yes.
So I can't take you downstairs to see Loria. Shit. But we're gonna live stream it a little bit. And
yes.
From probably my profile with Brian's, Pay attention because we're going to bring you some inside scoop.
Absolutely. Cindy Harkey, thank you so much for watching. It was an honor having you. Hell yeah, Lee, Shannon, Crew Nation, Papa Draps, Crew Times 4. If you haven't shared this yet, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You know what we need? We need like a Crew Nation hand gesture. Can somebody who is really good at these things
that sounds like a gang sign.
What doesn't have to be a gang?
How about this?
I want a Crew Nation thing.
How about this?
That's a project for Crew Nation. If you can come up...
Look at this one. Look at that. There's hearts inside the house.
Crew Nation. So if you guys have any ideas, additional to Brian's idea of Crew Nation,
yes,
do a little video picture, send it over to us.
Love you guys to death. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Fucked Up Friday. Get your asses here.
It's going to be fucked up because we got new equipment to test out.
Woo!
Bye, everybody.